You ever see something so whacked out that you wonder, like, what is this person's end game? You know, a person who's running from the police in their 1948 Mercury. All the tires are blown. They have a little bit of gas. They're on a roadway. There are 900 cops following them. There are cops in front of them, behind them, on the side of them. There are helicopters above them. And yet they continue. So as you watch it on the TV screen or YouTube or whatever you're watching it, you're going, why don't you stop? What is your end game? You can't go right. You can't go left. You can't drive around them, and you're running low of gas. Have you thought this out clearly? And we see this through life. People who do something crazy, and we've done stuff crazy, like, oh, maybe I should have worn shoes because it's glass outside. Don't know, just crazy stuff. So I asked this of the Republican Party. What is your end game? I'm not anti-Republican Party. I'm just curious. I'm on TV, I'm watching. You're suppressing the vote. Last year, record numbers of people voted. Black people, brown people, young white people, young black people who've never participated in a process before voted for the first time. And most of their votes went to Biden. People voted by mail, they voted early. So the Republican Party now are going after whites, not just blacks. Targeting whites in the big city, talking to young whites in the big cities, targeting blacks, of course, targeting whites in the suburbs and Asians in the suburbs, making it difficult to vote. I understand Texas has it's been really more aggressive than most. You know, in Harris County, where Houston is, the largest county in the state, you know, they are considering putting the same number of polling places in that large community they have in the small suburbs, the small towns. But the problem with this is, in addition to suppressing the groups you don't like, but you're suppressing the people who normally vote Republican. Older whites who've always voted Republicans, who've always sent their ballot in by mail, now have to jump over hoops to vote. And will they? Because through the years they haven't had to. Florida, Ohio, Indiana. They've never had to do anything other than what they've always done. And the Republican Party is making it difficult for them to vote. So my question is, what is your end game? What is the end game? For whatever reason, they have chosen not to open the tent to other people, unless those people embrace the ideas and philosophies and of the Republican Party. So it's unattractive to young whites who've had black friends, brown friends, Asian friends, whites who lived in the suburbs, who's been exposed to different people and different backgrounds and gay people. And yet the baby boomers, people in my age group, don't seem to want to open a tent. But if you don't open a tent, your party won't grow. So I don't know what the end game is for the Republican Party. I'm in California. If I were in one of those states, Georgia, Texas, I'd be protesting. I'd be at the courthouse. It does affect us here in California, but it's unfortunately not my fight in California. The Democrats are not off the hook. The Democrats are having issues because they've had a lot of young Democrats have been voted and who've been elected. And so there's issues there in the Democratic Party. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm an independent, and I wish there were other parties in the country because there are too many things that are similar within the parties. All about power, all about control. Mitch McConnell could care less about which way things go as long as he's speaker, long as he becomes Speaker of the House. So I don't know what the end game is for the Republican Party. Because people my age won't be around there's going to be fewer and fewer of people my age in the next few years. And if you haven't opened the tent to young people and their ideals, gays and their ideals, people of different cultures and their ideals, if you're not willing to have that discussion, then your party will they'll just fade. The three of you can go to Golden Corral on Sundays. This is a Rodfather. 916. Hit that subscribe button, please. I'm growing in other areas, but growing slow on YouTube. If you like what you hear, always share it with friends. If you don't like what you hear, tell me about it. Let's talk. Meanwhile, wishing you love, joy, and happiness from Sacramento, California. Bye now. Take care of yourselves.